So this episode is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to actually recap my first 10 episodes and talk about what I've improved on, what I've learned, and also kind of like a thank you video for making it to, well, technically this is the 11th video, but for making it to 10 videos. And just want to say thank you to everyone who supported. I will shout everyone out at the end. I literally am going to go through every single comment and say thank you to every single person that has commented on my videos at the end of the video. Once I go over what I have changed / started doing, I think it's really nice to go over because the support I've received is mind-blowing and insane, and I never expected to get anything close to the amount of views and comments and likes that I've gotten. So thank you all so much. But let's get into what I've improved. So I'm going to start off with what I do to warm up. First thing I start doing when I warm up is just go into the shooting test, and I run around and try and jump on top of these pillars. I think it's good to like start movement first because it warms up your arm and you're not really worried about shooting, you're just worried about movement. And I do this because I just enjoy moving around these pillars, and I think it's something fun for me to do before I actually start aim or warming up my aim. And the next thing I do is I go to the range. Right now I'm on 346 because 346 is the sense that is translated to 1.1 800 DPI in CSGO. And Cold Zero is my favorite FPS player ever. He played on 1.1, so when I played CS, I played on 1.1. I bumped it up over the years, but I want to go back to it because I have years of muscle memory on it. So I go anywhere from 346 to, or 0.3 to 0.4. And it honestly just depends on how my wrist is feeling that day, or if I'm like getting tired through the matches and I bump it up a little bit, or if I feel like I need to slow it down, then I'll lower it. But changes anywhere from 0.3 to 0.4. So now I want to go over some of the crosshairs I use. I really like this like weird middle line box crosshair that I've been using recently. Also have the normal box, have a circle like for my original crosshair. I just downloaded this one because I thought the star looked pretty cool. So it looks cool, but it'd be terrible in the game for me. But those are some of the crosshairs I use. But I've been recently, like I said, I've been on the box with a line through it. So to begin the warm-up, I kind of just jump around until I feel like I should stop jumping. And then I use the classic pistol until I get a few kills. I think it's important to use a classic pistol first because that's what you're going to use first in the game. So get a few kills with a classic pistol, then I'll switch off to the Vandal. Now the biggest reason I go into the range is for this like tiny movement, like counter strafing. I think it's really, really important to get the timing down of your counter strafing before you start playing. So I just go in the range, and as you can see, I'm making a ton of small adjustments in my movement. I think it's really important because that's what I want to be doing in my gunfights, is when they see me, move a tiny bit to throw off their crosshair, and then I should be able to kill them because they're going to be spraying, and spraying is horrible in this game. So I think counter strafing is really important for that, and it's also really important for clearing angles. So I use the range to focus on counter strafing. Once I'm done with the range, I like to come out to this target and put it as far as possible and scope down on the Vandal and just tap away. I think this gives a really good idea of the speed you should be tapping at when you're zoomed in. I think this is one of the most underappreciated parts of the game. Is a lot of people in my lobbies don't use the zoom feature as much as they should, especially for long range fights. So I try and get the timing down for the long range fights, and then once I feel good about it, then I queue up for a couple death matches. And then for deathmatch, the most important thing about deathmatch is getting your arm warm and your crosshair placement. So what I do in deathmatch is I try and pretend like I'm actually taking the site and like try and clear angles. Like obviously winning is fun and nice, but not the most important thing. I think that you should be pretending to clear a site, because when you pretend that you're clearing a site, then what's going to happen is your crosshair is going to be on the spots where they should be in the game, and that is more important than winning a deathmatch. You really, really, really want your crosshair to be in the best possible place every time when entering a site or retaking a site. You really need your crosshair in the right place in order to not have to flick too hard. I think here's a good example. I spawn below belt. I get shot at, so obviously I'm going to take the fight because I need to get my aim warm. But now when I'm entering the site, I'm trying to clear common angles that happen in the actual matches. Doesn't matter that I die here. What matters is that I practiced where I should be putting my crosshair when I'm actually playing the game. So usually I play about 2 or 3 death matches. I don't want to play more than 4 death matches. I think that's overkill. I think that you should play until you feel good, like minimally, because deathmatch is way different from the actual matches. It's not gonna play like deathmatch, right? So as long as you're feeling a little bit warm and your arm is feeling like normal, then I think you should queue for competitive, and that's what I do. It usually takes me 2 death matches after going in the range for me to feel ready. Sometimes it takes 4, but usually it's 2. So now that we've gone over the warm-up, I'm gonna like recap how I've done statistically in the series. It also is gonna include the 6 placement games I played as a 5 stack, but I don't think that really matters too much. So to start off, Diamond 3 right now, 26 wins, 25 losses, pretty balanced. I don't know why the win percentage says 49.1% on the right. Don't know. My KAST, which coming from CS players have a big emphasis on that. I don't think players here really care about that. I think they care about KD in this game. But my KST, which I personally care about, is really, really good. However, my damage per round is bad. And same with my KD. And I expected that because I'm basically coming into a game brand new. I don't know the maps. I don't know the new meta agents other than the basic ones like Jet, Raze, the ones I don't really play. So I expect to not be as good of a player as these other players are, because that's an unrealistic expectation, right? If you're coming into a new competitive game, you cannot expect to just shoot up to the top. You have to work your way up there because other people have been grinding their asses off, trying to work their way up there too. Here, I'm going over my roles. I've played a lot of controller, a lot of initiator, some sentinel, and some duelist. I think this is a big problem of mine, is being a field player. As I said in my last episode, I really want to start focusing on controller. I really enjoy playing Omen a lot. Omen was my main back when I played this game. I love Omen. I love his abilities. I've been trying to get into Clove, but I just can't get comfortable with Clove, so I really want to just stick with Omen and maybe even Viper for some lineups. And, she's necessary on a few maps. But now that Breeze is out, maybe I don't have to play Viper. Don't know. Maybe I should. But anyways, now on to the top maps. Haven's back. Oh, I'm so glad Haven's back. Haven has always been by far my best map and my favorite map. So glad it's back. Sunset and Icebox are surprising at 66.7%. And also have a couple maps at 50%, which is Split, Lotus, and Bind. I thought my Split and Bind would be better, but apparently it's not. My Lotus, I thought it'd be worse, but 50% isn't too bad. And then Ascent is shocking. I love Ascent. I cannot win on it. I do not know why. That last map, it's out of the map pool. I don't ever want to think about it again. I don't want to play it again. It's terrible. Now focusing on my tips for game sense wise, or how to get better at playing the game, is number 1, find lineups. Lineups are really going to help you set yourself up for some easy kills or free kills, or just to take better map control than your team can, because lineups make sure that they cannot see you when they swing around this corner. I know this smoke looks pretty high, but as you'll see right here, going through it, if they come close to this corner, they're going to get blinded by the smoke. So it should be free kills for you, and lineups like that are really important. My number 2 tip is find really weird off angles your character can isolate or get to. For example, with Omen, I think that's a good TP right there, because if someone was cat and they're watching tile, bottom mid smoked. So bottom mid player can't help mid. So if you TP onto that box right there, it's a really strong position. If the player cat sees no one tiles and tries to push top mid, they're just gonna have, or you're gonna have a free kill if you're Omen, right? Also, with Omen's kit, you are able to teleport onto this box. So if your teammate wants to go through mid, a really good way to support them is to teleport onto this box. In case anyone swings them, you should be able to trade them out or kill the enemy before they're able to kill your teammate. So finding how to use your kit and isolate fights is really important. My third tip is to use or like call plays for your team using your kit, right? So with Omen, you have this blind, or Breach, you have a stun here. You can blind for them, and you have one of your teammates go up and basically get free kills, right? One or two of your teammates go up and get free kills. This helps you in the early round advantage, and this also grows your confidence. So when you call small plays, it grows your confidence to be able to call like actual IGL rounds, because you can learn multiple agents utility, learn where they're best used, learn which way are the best, or where the best spots are to use each agent's utility, and it grows your game sense on what your enemy can do. So I think this is very important, and something a lot of people don't do enough of. Please find lineups to use your utility to set up plays for your team in the early round. My final, and this is the absolute most critical tip in this whole series: keep your mental in check. Never, ever, ever blow up or think that blowing up at your teammate is going to do good, unless there's racist, sexist out there. I understand why people want to blow up on them. I would blow up on them too. The stuff like that is out of your control. But if you're blowing up on a teammate for making a bad play, your mental is just going to be terrible, and that is definitely not the way to go about it. Try and keep your mental in the game, because it's also going to keep your teammates' mental in the game, and the mental is the most important thing in this game. If you believe you can win every round, if you believe you can win every gunfight, you're going to be a lot better off than if you're tilted and going into a gunfight or going into different rounds in the match. So please, please, please take care of your mental, focus on it, try and make sure you're as relaxed as possible, as balanced as possible, and it will be a lot better time playing this game. So that's what I've done to improve in this series. Those are my tips that I've used myself to try and improve my game sense. Also my warm-up routine, improve my aim sense, or my aiming, I guess. I think those things have really combined for me to definitely become a better player than I was at the beginning of this series, and hopefully it was helpful for some of you guys, or a good reminder for some of you guys on what you should be focusing on or what you could be focusing on. But this is going to be the end of the tips. From here on, I'm going to be thanking everybody that's commented, and if you don't want to see that, perfectly fine, but anyone who has commented, I'm about to shout you out right now. So going back to the OG first episode, shout out Red Cap Milk, shout out Raccoony, shout out Lupe G, shout out Joe Chisman, sorry, don't know how to pronounce that, Bailey Brainwave, and Ryan. Thank you guys all for watching and supporting my first video. I know there's way more of you that have watched my first videos and didn't comment, but I really appreciate anyone who's been here, especially since day one. And on my second episode, shout out to Mindset and Morning Coffee for joining the comment section. Always appreciate you guys. And on my fourth video, shout out to Real Faxlin, first underrated comment. Thank you so much. And also little Jason with the tips. And this video popped off as 2,000 views, so my most commented video for sure. But thank you to Iba. I'm so sorry, I don't know how to say it. Thank you for commenting the most detailed comment I still have gotten on this channel. Really good, really helpful. Also, Bulb Stark photo finally showing up. User NG, I don't know the rest of it. Thank you so much for commenting. Bobster showed up. Aqua MC, and then Snakeflake. Appreciate everyone that watched that video. It is still insane. That video has 2,000 views, and it's because of you guys, so thank you so much. And the next episode, Michu showed up. Shout out Michu. And after that, Mr. Orangutan, Big Jer, Robin Hood, Gonzalo. Zeke. Essos, Brightback. I hate lives. Glad your life's getting better. Also, Corky Paws. Shout out Will, Val. Appreciate the comment. And most recent video, Semitic and Falcon. But even if you didn't comment, thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate all the support and views and likes and subscribers. And like I said, it's been insane. I am shocked that the first 10 episodes have went this well, and let's keep it going. So, hope to see you guys in the next episode. Thank you for watching.